That's what it is. Sometimes we get carried away because of all these things. And then so as we go along, we keep on working, we keep on working. Some of us advance in the eyes of people in our status, but eventually all of us grow older. And as people grow older, again, many of us become more sensible in our choices, and we start preparing for something, and that is the next stage where we find meaning or look for meaning in life, and that is the determination of our destiny. Some people start asking, what is there? Is this all there is in life? I've worked hard for 10, 20, 30 years, and the same money that I have in the bank is the same money that I have right now. Or some of us probably have said, I've become so successful that I've got more money than anybody I know in the office or anybody I know in the church. But is this all there is in life? What happens after this? Am I ready? Is this really why God has prepared me or has created me? Some of us become very successful sports figure or very famous singers. And then you ask yourself, I've sold millions and millions of records. And you ask, is this why God put me in this world? Is this really my purpose? To sell millions of records, and then somehow creeping along inside of your heart that gives you such dissatisfaction and emptiness is the fact that with all those fame, all those glory, and all those grandeur, you find that life is meaningless because you don't know if you have fulfilled the reason why you're here. And people go along and say, what's next in that? Well, in fact, one very famous preacher in our history, the reason why he got saved was when one of his professors asked him, I think it was his professor or his dad, I forgot already, I think his professor, asked him, he said, Mr. So-and-so, what are you doing here right now? He said, I'm studying for law. He said, after this, what's your plan? He said, I'm probably going to marry somebody beautiful. And he said, after that, what's your plan? He said, I'm probably going to build a family. And after that, what's your plan? Probably build my family and become rich. And okay, after that, what's your plan? What's next? I'm probably going to grow old in my family. Everybody will eventually die. I probably will die ahead of my children. But after that, he said, what's next? He said, I'll die. And what's next? And because of that thought, he could not sleep in the evening. He could not get rest in the spirit. Because there's something he knows, a destiny that is more important than even our destiny here on earth, that we've got to settle, to determine and assure your destiny in eternity. And these are the questions that we have, and we keep on seeking and searching out there because we've got all these things that has been a question about the meaning of life, and many of us travel along and one piles up over the other and somehow searching, seeking the wonders, the adventures, the significance, the worth. And all these things combined, somehow we keep on grappling in the dark, not knowing, for those of us who are even asking. Many of us don't even ask. Our friends, they flow along life not asking. Many of us are asking, end up with nothing. And we keep on searching, and we go through. In our seeking, these are the things that we go to. And these are, again, commonality of experience that we share with each other. What are the things that you notice? And these are things that I got from the example that we used a while ago in the Word. There's a lot of things, but I'll settle with these four, because at least these are four that I noticed in the life of this person named Solomon, that he tried to fill his life with. But at the end of it, I'll tell you what happened. The first thing that he had was riches. As I told you, many of us, we think riches is it. That is all. Many of us keep on working. Many of the students right now, many of our youth, I asked them, what do you want to be? And they said, very common answer of a lot of youth is, I want to take up this course. Why? Because there's money in it. You didn't bother to ask, is that what God has created you for? Okay? As I said, I've given this an example before, very true with everybody. For Filipinos, you ask them, what do you want to take up? What's the first answer? Nursing. Why nursing? There's money and security in it. So we want to take a look at riches all the time as the one that will satisfy the hunger of what is sticking us or somehow keeping us in the past. And for those of us who want to satisfy a present, riches is going to satisfy a present. And for those of us who's looking for the future, it's going to satisfy our future and our security and meaning of life, meaning of discovery and all those things. Somehow, we think riches is going to be it. And then the next one, Solomon, by the way, as I said, is considered to be. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you the verse later on to show you that was true. Some of us actually move on, aside from riches. He said, okay, forget about riches. It's you and me against the world. What do you mean by that? Not riches, relationships. Relationships. If only Sister Susan would fall in love with me. I don't care if I'm the poorest man in the world. I'll be the happiest. Have you ever heard people say that? If only he could love me or she would love me. If I would have this relationship, then it'll be the best. Somehow I'll find meaning and I'll find all these things and I will answer all those bad experiences I have. Is this you? Do you know friends like this? Well, in fact, it is so difficult sometimes because what happens is after one relationship and this relationship does not work out, what do people do? It is very easy for us to sever this relationship and find another one, and another one, and another one. And we keep on going from one relationship to another. And if somehow the same-sex relationship, just same-gender relationship that we have been involved in does not work, we try something else. And there are people that have tried even animals. Are you with me? Relationship with animals. Tom Hanks, what movie was that? He was a FedEx driver.
Castaway.
Castaway. He had a relationship with a coconut husk. Is that a coconut husk? A volleyball. Just kidding. You know, I'm talking about somehow he could not live his life without relationships. And we think relationships will satisfy especially men, by the way, who a lot of people think and believe and somehow consider as a fact that we are polygamous people. That we could not settle with one wife. We're just going to keep on going and going and going like an Energizer bunny until all the batteries are gone. We just put on new batteries, by the way. We just keep on going. So relationships. The next one is somehow that many of us, not all of us now in our generation, but the earlier generation, in my generation still, is religion. Somehow we want, oh, I know the answer is God, so I'll find religion. So we go, some of us have very different ways of dealing with religion. Some of us born into a very rich religion would actually be so attached to it that in that attachment we would not want to even consider any talk that may be different from what we have. Isn't that right? You have heard people, we've said it as a family, I've heard people from other groups as well and other persuasions go, I was born in this religion, I will die in this religion. So if you're a Protestant, you would say, I was born a Baptist, I will die a Baptist. You will probably do. Die as a Baptist. And you could place any kind of religion in there, but people have, some people become more open in this one, and they go, okay, as long as you don't touch me, I don't touch you, we can talk, we can communicate, but we're not open to each other as to the possibility that you are true, and I'm not, or I'm true, and you're not. Now the next group of people probably are on the other extreme of this is the people who are not so much into this particular group, they actually become a part of every religion. Remember one very famous singer had 7 medals of all different religions out there because he said, just in case I miss on this one, at least I got the other one. At least I hit it. I'll hit it. Out of these 7, at least I'll get it. I could mention you the name of the singer, and if it's your favorite, I want you to change that. Okay? But that's what it is. And a lot of people think because of spirituality, because of what we do, because I'm religious, then I'm settled and I find satisfaction in it. But I have asked so many people who are very much involved in religion, if Jesus comes right now and He meets you face to face, are you absolutely 100% ready that you are going to heaven with Him? And there are very few people that could stand with full confidence and say, I am sure that I'm going to heaven. Most of the answer, despite a person being so religious, is I hope so. I'm trying my best. That's not what the Word of God tells us. And then the next one is recognition. We want to be recognized. It's a matter of people somehow seeing that we are important, that we're not just like a piece of furniture out there in a home. And many times, guys, sometimes we feel this way because of how people relate to us and treat us. I've seen a lot of parents and the way their kids somehow treat them. It's like not just their friends, but some of the way their friends treat them, or their daughters or their children treat them is as if they're non-existent. Their children would come home. The parents are sitting right there in the living room, and the kids would just go straight to their rooms. How many of you kids are doing that without saying hi or hello to your mom or kissing them or bless? Okay? They just go straight to the room. Excuse me? You know, there's somebody here who gave you birth? You would not be walking right there right now, not because of me. You know, sometimes you're like, I am here, I exist, acknowledge me. Some of us, because of that, we feel like, because we're so deprived of recognition from people who would and should be recognizing us, we keep on trying to prove it to ourselves that we do matter. We do matter. And we become very sensitive when people speak to us and somehow deal with us as if they're insulting us. We go into rage because somehow we got insulted and somebody stepped all over our pride. We don't recognize it's the reason why. How many people have ever said or have ever been tempted to say, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? And this is something that is very true even when I was in the Bible school. Somehow we testify about who we were before. I was a member of the Communist Party and we killed people. I used to be this macho dancer and so on and so forth. And now God has cleansed all of us and made me a new creation. And finally, somehow, we hear Bible school students, but we're not really in heaven yet. So we've got imperfections, right? So somehow we quarrel against each other. In the middle of these quarrels, somehow now we get into a contest of recognition. You don't know who I was before. You don't know me. Do you want me to backslide for a moment and ask forgiveness later on? So we want to glory and get recognized in all these things. But in all those tries, one thing that we would see, Solomon tried all of them. As I said, there's a lot more we get into. But these are the major ones. In our search for significance and relating to time and relating to meaning as friends, well, in fact, I would say as mankind, these are the things that we've tried, but they all fall short and they don't deliver what we're looking for. And we end up still